Hello and welcome to Digitals in Gaming. I am Syntosis and this is another episode of TNP Limitless 5. So today's episode we've got the nitros going. So we're going to upgrade this thing to nitro. We've already got the process kicking off. So yeah, a whole bunch of stuff is being made at the moment. As you can see, we've still got 36 of those left to do. We've still got the crafting things. And yeah, it's just going to work itself through there. What I did was replaced some of these with some better ones. And yeah, basically just make sure that they're all hooked up to the right things. So off they are doing their own thing. We've got a couple of changes. Obviously you saw this stuff. So we've got chlorine going into here. And we've got quite a lot of sodium and chlorine. We've got these things, chemical oxidizers, which are basically taking sulfur and making sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is used in some of the recipes, and if we go down here, we've got I've moved the bits down here and I haven't finished it off, so let's finish this off, shall we? So what we're going to do is we're going to put the ultimate pressure. We're not going to put ultimate pressure because it's fluid. So it's the fluid ones that I need. So let's get a couple of those. There we go, there's the fluid cables. So what we're going to do is we'll put the fluid cables down here, and we're going to hook this up at the back. And this is basically going to extract our ether gas from our little system around the corner. We're going to get this hooked up on this side as well. And then we'll get the ether gas going back into the system. So that will be a good idea. Where have we got my wrench? There it is. So that should already be configured. There we go. Perfect. Right, so ether gas is now being pumped out of here. I broke the pipes by accident, so we don't have an awful lot in the system. But it should be more than enough to keep this filled, considering this is only 10 millibuckets. And we got 2,500. So this should keep this going. We've got 2 inferiums, 1 emerald and 1 diamond seed, because we were running out of diamonds and we were running out of emeralds. So it did exactly the same thing. We're producing the little pieces of emeralds and the little pieces of diamonds, and then we're just basically reconstituting those in, or reconstructing those into diamonds and emeralds. Again, it's not too bad actually. So if we have a look, we've got 432 emeralds and we've only been running for a little while. Down here we've got pulverizers for different items. So we've got sulfur getting here. So basically all the sulfur that we mine comes into one of these, gets mullered into the sulfur that we can use, and then piped back into the network. And then once it comes into the network, it then gets piped out here. So we've got the sulfur dust, which comes into here, gets oxidized, and then ends up ultimately in this tank here. Now, we do have the quarries going, so that is another part of the system that we made sure is going. I did make sure we're going. The whole reason why we're going to hook up the new niotic, the nitro, is purely and simply because of power. We've got massive power issues in the fact that we've drained the power from this thing. So yeah, the actual quarries are not working at the moment. So it would be a good idea to actually get some energy into this so that we can get a bit more items coming through. Now obviously these things are creeping up again, and they will eventually reach a point where we've got saturation of energy and we then fill up, or start to fill up this thing. But yeah, that's not really going to happen that quickly because the quarries are running pretty much max speed. So they are eating through power like nobody's business. So we've got this basic reactor, and we've got this nitro reactor. So we've got one nitro reactor, and that is hooked up to the base, and so is this basic. So the idea is we're going to swap this one out. Well, yeah, we're going to swap this one out, and we're going to leave that one hooked up to the base, and we are going to hook this one up specifically to the quarries. And there we go. We've got our big, powerful ones. It's 20 million each. I don't know how many of those we need. One, apparently. So that's quite cool. So the nitro reactor should be done very, very shortly. So I suppose what we should do is make sure that we've got the flux. Now, what one is it? We need receives energy. No, we need provides energy. So we need one of those. Let's just get one of those cooked up. And we should be then ready to make sure that we've got our system all prepared. Now, the thing that we want to do today is we want to take this sulfur dioxide, and I'm pretty sure what we want to do is make sulfur trioxide. So the sulfur dioxide, there we go. So sulfur dioxide, if we hit this right click that block, we need oxygen, sulfur dioxide, which goes to trioxide, then sulfur trioxide with water vapor goes to sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid is then used in a number of things, and we can, you know, play around with that stuff. Now what we want is we want to be able to feed these machines here. So if we go and have a look at what these ones actually do, this is what we're aiming for, either uranium hexafluoride, or we're looking for nuclear waste, essentially. Nuclear waste is fissile fuel and sodium. So fissile fuel, isotope it centrifuge, uranium hexafluoride. So we need hydrofluoric acid, we need uranium oxide, and we need sulfuric acid and fluorite to produce hydrofluoric acid. So we've got sulfur dioxide, and so we need to essentially create, I don't even know what we're going to be creating. Is it sulfuric acid? There we are. So we need sulfur trioxide first, and then we can make our sulfuric acid with water vapor. That will give us our sulfuric acid, and then obviously over in here we can then make the other bits and pieces that we need. So we need to go to that. So for that, so sulfuric acid, so we need oxygen and we need sulfur dioxide. We've got sulfur dioxide, we need oxygen, so we need a chemical infuser for this. And to produce oxygen, we need an electrolytic separator with water. We will get hydrogen and we will get oxygen. So we need fluid and electrolytic separators. Now I'm going to go back upstairs because I've got a chest full of crap. And I'm going to go up there and see whether we've got any electrolytic separators in here. And I'm hoping that we have, which it doesn't look like we do. No, we don't. So we're going to have to build a couple. So electrolytic separators, there we go. Let's build 2 of them to start, because I don't know how many we're going to need, but we'll build 2 to start. So that's going to cook up those things downstairs, which is good. So there's the first one. The system's pretty quick at the moment, so I'm relatively happy with that. There we go, there's the second one, and then we need some ultimate tanks. Now this is going to be gas, I'm pretty sure it's going to be gas, so we're going to get 2 more. We'll start that process off while we are waiting for those. We will then have a look at our reactor and see if we've got 36, which we have. Perfect. Okay, so let's go back for the ultimates. And we should be... In fact, we don't really need them right this second, so we can probably go downstairs and get some stuff sorted. Actually, we are going to need some new ultimate... so we need gas. We've got... How much gas have we got? We got 1 fluid, some gases. This is gases as well, so we'll take that. We'll get 20 of those. What are these? Those thermodynamic ones. We don't really need those. Let's have a look at the gas ones. We get like 30 of those. Ultimate mechanical fluids. We've got some fluids, haven't we? No. So we need some more fluids. So let's get some more fluid. Logistical, not really. Fluid, definitely. So we'll get those cooking. Right, we've got those. Perfect. We are going to need some ultimate universal cables. I don't know whether I've just started those or not. No, universal cables is perfect, so that's cool. So we've got our fluids, and we should get... Oh, there we go. There's our 2 extra chemical tanks. And here come our extra energy. We're going to leave the rest of the energy in there for the second. And we're going to go and we're going to sort out this. So, what do we want to do? Do we want to leave this one in place and put it next to it? Or put it here? Do I really want to? Not if I can help it. I think breaking this is probably the best bet. I can put them back in the system. I can get that all sorted then. Now, this thing here can be broken, because we're not going to be providing any energy for the other network. So we're going to need a block, which we're going to put this one on, and then we're going to build this. And what we are going to do is we're going to configure this for energy. So, where's the energy? We're not going to link this up. We are going to stop this from being linked. And then what we're going to do is, obviously this thing should start filling up by itself, which is good. So let's just bump start this. And then we need a little bit of water. So if we go and find a bucket, let's find a bucket, and let's go grab some water from our infinite water sources, like so. We should chuck it in here and it should be all good. There we go. And then that should be on. We'll turn that bit on there, and then what we will do is we'll get our flux point, shove it on here, configure this to the quarry network, and let it go. There we go. That is it. Right, so we've got the temperature falling because of the dry ice. We've got the power going up, and then obviously that will kick in at 70% and go back up. What have we got going into the network? We should have quite a bit, right? Yep. So we've limited the amount of quarry power that we can use. Not really worried about that, because we can always go and up that later. Oh, I'm trying to jump up in a space which is not elevated up. So let's go and have a look. Right, there we go. So now we're filling up the power, so that's good. Right, perfect. Okay, so that's the power for the quarry sorted. In fact, actually, let's go over here and have a look. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got a ton of stuff coming through. Perfect. All right, let's go and have a look at this sulfur dioxide into trioxide. So we've got the sulfur dioxide here, which we are still getting a bit. Obviously, they're still coming through, so that's good. So what I've got is I've got this one feeding into that one, this one to that one, to that one, to this one. So this end one is the one that fills up. And we're going to take a... So what have we got here? We've got ultimate pressurized tube. So we're going to get some more ultimate pressurized tube, which is here. And we're going to feed off from there. Now you see that this literally is straight away. It's got pretty much everything that's in that tank. So we can't break this block. That would be stupid. However, what we do... Oh, that's a point. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to put that here. And then we are going to use... what have we got? So sulfur dioxide, and what else? We need water, which is fine. But we need this sulfuric acid. So sulfur trioxide is what we're making. Dioxide plus oxygen in a chemical infuser. Now I do know that we've got some of those upstairs, so let's go and grab those for the moment. Chemical infusers. Okay, no we don't, because I'm a liar. Chemical infuser. Chemical injection, chemical oxidizer, chemical infuser. Let's get 3 of those. It's not going to take long to do, so we might as well take 3. So all of these things are basically being cooked at the moment, and as you can see, I mean it's not the fastest, but it's certainly not slow. And it means that all the items are basically being processed in this bank here, which is quite good. Right, so we've got this stuff coming into here. Now, how do we want to handle that is really what we want to see. So we're going to handle the water here. The sulfur, I think what we'll do is see in what order this will go. So pressurized tube, right, so it goes into the right and it goes into the left. Okay. So what we need to do is pretty much, that's out. So sulfuric acid is not a gas, it's a liquid. So it's a fluid, isn't it? So it's not a mechanical pipe, you idiot. It's a pressurized tube, is that right? No. It's not that either. Okay. That's power then. So do I need to flip this? I think I might have to. So if I go back into and switch around to rotate, and then we'll rotate it this way. Now power should go in there. This should split here, I think, and go that way, right? And then we'll get the oxygen in this side. And we could have a second one of these up. Does that sound like a plan? Chemical infuser. So if we go up, right? Yeah, there we go. We'll put it up there. And then what we can do is we can put the oxygen this side, and then obviously the power will go here. So I probably could build 3, but we're not going to at the moment. So let's go down for power. So we'll shove that down there. We'll go and hook that up in a minute. We're definitely going to... Yeah, we're definitely going to hook this up. Just as long as we don't break them, we should be good. So if I hook that up to there, that should fill sulfur dioxide. The oxygen should come in here. So we need to make the oxygen here. And for that, we are going to need an infinite water source for sure. So where are we going to put these things? Electrolytic separators. We're going to take 2 of them, or we're going to place them on top of each other. We're also going to put them quite close. I think here would be a good idea. Where's the power on these? I don't know. Probably front or back or whatever. I would say the right hand side, or is the output for this side. So if we get the water in, let's get, oh, maybe that's the power side of the water. There we go. Right, so we'll go through the floor. We can hook that up in a minute. We're gonna have to go through the floor with fluid pipes, because our water source will be downstairs. And then what we can do is we can... Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll pull the gas out that side when we know that it's gas. Right, so if we go upstairs, we've got a couple... I'll just put them in there. Let's take those back out. Right, so what we're going to do upstairs is we are going to go and grab a couple of pumps, I think. Yeah, 2 pumps. Do we want that? Ultimate fluid tank? Not particularly. Let's sleep as well, so that we've got the solar panels recharging. Because I know that we've got multiple power sources now, but still, old habits. Right, so that's that. We also need some water. So let's go get a couple of buckets. I don't think I'll get any water in there, in which case... You know what? We're just going to run outside and grab it because it's easier. So let's get our 3 buckets. There we go. And let's go back inside. There we go. Alright. Next is the water source underneath the floor. Plus we also need power down there. So let's hook up the power. Now we should be over here. So the power shouldn't be too much of an issue. We should be able to pull power from here. And link it there. And then just link it straight across. Perfect. Okay, so those guys are now powered. We've got fluid cables which we need to bring down. So ultimate fluids. Perfect. Right, so now we need an water source kind of here. So an infinite water source here. We'll do that. And then we'll do that. There we go. Right, so now we need a block. We need a block there. We need the pump there. And we're going to need to power this thing and also take the water out. So let's switch over to both of these cables. We'll put the power here because it will go straight up and connect. And then the ultimate pipe will go there, and we've got water. Perfect. Okay, so power, water. That should now... oh, hang on. It's too high. That should now... that should now have started to separate, as we can see. Right, so cyan is oxygen, hydrogen is on the left. We are going to dump the excess hydrogen because we don't need it. The cyan is on that side. If we... that's mechanical, that's fluid, not what I want. I need gas, so there. And there. And then that should be in here, which is oxygen. That is now making sulfur trioxide, which I don't actually know what that is. Is sulfur... so trioxide is a liquid, I think. Is trioxide a liquid? Yeah, I think so. Well, it's a gas. Okay, it's a gas, which means it goes into ultimate tanks. So it goes into this. So 1, 2, and we should have a third one. There we go. Right, so it should be being pumped into the first one. So we're going to put the input there and the output on the back. And then it should go into this one when we switch the input to red and the output to blue on the back. And then again with this one and the output blue on the back. So input, there we go. We've got everything coming from the front tank. Let's do that. Front tank to the back tank. And then it's coming out of here, into there, and into the back. Perfect. Alright, so we've got quite a bit going. We're probably going to need some more oxygen. We're probably... you know what? We've got upgrades that we can put in here. We've got no upgrades right now. So at the moment, this is doing pretty well for something that isn't upgraded. And we will upgrade it. These are all upgraded. Obviously, this is now feeding these two. And there is 500,000 in there. We're chomping through that quite happily. But the oxygen stuff, we're probably going to need a bit more. So I will more than likely put another one on there. But for now, this is the third one. So we're getting sulfur trioxide. So now trioxide then becomes sulfuric acid with water vapor. Now, how do we get water vapor? Condensating? No. Water vapor comes from a decondensating. So now we need a decondensator, which we don't have in the system. A decondensator, really? Oh, hang on, it might just be a condensator, but flipped. So let's get two of those. Why two? Why not? You know, we're ultimately going to have to crank this up at some point, so, you know, there's no point just going mad with just one. Right, so it goes in one side and out the other, as you can see. Toggle the operation. Okay, so rotary to so it goes that way, or decondensating, or condensating. So let's go for sulfur trioxide, which is here, and we need to go water vapor plus sulfuric acid. So this actually needs to be to the side, because we need to produce water vapor over here. So if we line it up with this one, We'll go down into the floor here. Okay. And let's just put another brick back. Right, so we're going to go here and here, and we're going to feed it. Actually, we don't even need to go. Oh no, we do need to go into the floor because we need power, don't we? So we need the power coming up the front. That's gases. That's power. So we want the power coming up here, and we want the water. Now I'm pretty sure that we'll be okay for water to provide it to both systems. That's the idea anyway. So decondensating, because you want water to vapor, and the vapor is, so we're going to go input on the left, output on the right. So the output in this instance will be water vapor, because we're decondensating, and we're going to switch that over to decondensating too. And if we look at gas output is on the left, so we're going to go gas output on the right, and then we're going to go back down to this one, and we're going to click on the gases, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to put that to output, and we're going to go break this. Now, if we've got this right, we should be able to extract the gas from here. Perfect. And that should be vapor. Perfect. Water vapor. And then we can now feed it to our next machine. So we'll put that there. So we've got our water vapor, we've got our sulfur trioxide, and now the sulfur trioxide gets used in a chemical infuser with water vapor to produce sulfuric acid. So do we have chemical infusers upstairs? I might as well just bring this down. We do not. Why do we not have stuff that I want? Right, chemical infusers. So we just need 2, please. Chemical infuser. There we go. 2 of those, please. And I'll chuck that back in the system because we don't need those anymore. We'll chuck those in there. We'll also put the reactors into the system because that's a good idea. There's one of them. And we should get our second one now. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's go and hook this up with power. In fact, actually, let's not hook it up with power right now. Let's put these down so that we know where we've got our other power. Now, what I'm going to do is, I think what I want is the thing here. So I'm going to bring power up here. And the only reason I'm going to bring power up there is because it's then not covering the light. We're probably going to have the second one on top, I would have thought. And we've got a third one, which is kind of cool. Right, so if we have a look, the gases, so we click on the gases tab, we've got the input from the left, which is perfect. And then we've got the blue output from not gases, this is items or whatever it is, from the front, which we're not going to do. We will work out where that other stuff is going to go. But right at the moment we're going to do the input on that side just so that we know that it's not going to go anywhere. And then the blue one is what we want. So we want an input, so an orange input on the right. There we go. Orange input on the right. Let's get rid of those. Click on the gases and orange input from the right. Perfect. And then what we want is we want our, what is this? This is ultimate pressurized tube, ultimate universal cable, pressurized tube. There we go. Okay, so we'll pull it out from the back, shove it into there. That's full. We'll shove this in there. I'll get rid of this one. There we go. And then what we should be getting, he says, what we should be getting. There we go. We've got a little bit of steam going into here because this is decondensating but not quick enough. Not enough energy to operate. There we go, because I haven't hooked up to the power yet. So that's not hooked up to power, neither is that. So let's go downstairs and hook the power up. Like, we might need some more. Let's see if we can. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're definitely going to need some more power. Power cables. Go. So upgrades I'm definitely going to put in, but the upgrades that I'm going to be putting in will obviously take a little while to cook, so I'm not going to do that on camera. I will do that else at another time. Right, that should give us the power that we require. We're going to go over here because then we don't jump up through the wrong place. So there we go, perfect. Right, so that should now be producing steam over here, or water vapor should I say, and that should be then filling up at least this one or this one, or both, and it's now producing sulfuric acid in both. Perfect. Right, sulfuric acid. I'm guessing it comes out. No, that's power. Pressurized tube? No. Okay, so sulfuric acid must be fluid. Oh, it's not hooked up. So gases, so go into here, go into gases, and the back slot will be the blue output. Back slot will be blue output, and then, okay, so it's not this cable, so it's not a fluid, it's a gas. I always get confused with the gases and the acids. Right, now we need ultimate storage, or even more ultimate storage. I'm just going to produce 10 of these because we're going to use a few of them. We've got some more power there. So sulfuric acid now. Sulfuric acid is here. That will then go and be used where? That's right, sulfuric acid and fluorite. Is that right? In a chemical dissolution chamber. Fluoride, fluorite, fluor. You know what? Fissile fuel. So I know it's here. Uranium hexafluoride, hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric is sulfuric and fluorite. I spelled it way wrong. Okay, so fluorite obviously comes in from the system. So if we go FL, we've got plenty of fluorite. That's pretty cool. Fluorite. Right. Sometimes it's quite painful doing this, but when you get it right, it's fine. Right, so here we need chemical dissolution chamber. We're going to need 2 of those. Hydrofluoric acid. So chemical dissolution. We'll take the chemical tanks and we'll take the dissolution. Ready? Chemical. Okay, I didn't put the dissolution chamber in that. Okay, so we're going to add that one to the network. Right, if I break this, I will lose the 9,000 that I've already got in there. So we're going to put these here. And then we'll go down that way. So let's put these back in there. We are going to do exactly the same thing as what we did before, which is the red one and the blue one. And we're just literally going to feed them from one to the other. So red, blue, and then red and blue. Perfect. Okay, so this one should now fill up. This one... Oh, hang on a minute. Chemical acid. Ultimate chemical tank. Ultimate pressurized tube. That's mechanical pipe. Pressurized tube is gas. And chemical tank is gas, right? Is that not working? Input red. Sulfuric acid 2. Oh. I've got a tank in there. There we go. Empty the tank. Now we're good. Okay, so we've got 3 empty tanks here. That's perfect. This one is now filling up, so that's cool. So we should be all good in that instance. So we're actually producing sulfuric acid, which is pretty decent. Now we need to go teach the system how to build the other crap. We've got our other bits and pieces building, or making there, so that's fine. So let's go and see this one. And what we're gonna want is to build one of those. And then we should be able to shove in that one. And then we should be able to go dissolution, and then we want 2 of those. Missing refined obsidian ingot. Okay, so how do I make refined obsidian ingots? We've got 1 in the system. How do I make more? Refined obsidian ingots are these, or osmium compressor, which is what? Osmium refined. Okay, so let's go and get some refined. We got some refined here. I'll take some osmium. Which is here. And we'll see if we can't make one downstairs in one of these. Or, alternatively, is there an osmium? Is there one with osmium already in it? That would be awesome. That's refined. That's diamond. That's redstone. Is this osmium? This is empty. Obsidian dust. Okay, let's go grab another one. Where are we? Oh, alright. We'll sleep because I accidentally clicked that instead. Let's have a look at this one. We need one of those metallurgic infusers. Let's go downstairs and put it with the rest. We're going to put it on this side actually. Energy. There we go. Perfect. Write that down there. Write that one there. Go into here and turn all of this crap off. Perfect. Right, now what we should be able to do is that, and no, that's not the way round, is it? And it's even the wrong bloody thing. It's even the wrong bloody one, isn't it? Find obsidian ingot. Osmium compressor, yeah. I don't even know how to build one of them. Right, okay, osmium compressor. No, I do. Right, build. Come on, make me one. Come on. There we go. I do get impatient. Especially when I have to build all these bloody machines. Right, let's just dump all of those. What we want is we want them in the top and them in the bottom. How many of these do we need? 4. So, is it... Do we have any upgrades? No, we don't. So it might be a good chance to start 64 of all of those off. Well, we're not doing too bad. We've got 2, so it's pretty quick actually. Let's do another one. We'll teach the system. I'll teach the system later how to make these. It won't take long, but I've got to do another crafter and another import. It just takes way too long to do it on camera every single time. So we're going to give up with that idea, and we're just going to, put what we need in the system. And then what do we need? We need a dissolution thing, don't we? We need one of them. Chemical dissolution. Start. I hope it was one of these, because if not, yeah, it was one of them. Perfect. Come on, you can do it. Oh, we're waiting on the upgrades, aren't we? Okay, let's abandon that one for the second. We can always come back and grab it. Let's go and see how this stuff... we'll kill this little guy first. Come here. Goodbye. Right, this... Oh, not bad. 23,000. Perfect. Dissolution. It's still not built. This is working quite well, actually. So I think the upgrades, once they're in, will help quite a bit. We'll get a lot more stuff out of them. Let's go and have a look at the power. Right, so power is still a problem. Power is still a massive problem. I wonder why. Probably the quarries are going mad. Yep, quarries are going mad. You know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. So we're going to leave that at the moment. Dissolution, you got one yet? Nope. So let's have a look what we got. Okay, so you're in line. Oh, we got 50 of those. We got one of those. Right. Okay, I think we're at 40 minutes. I'm going to call the episode. Let this do all its crafting. We're going to come back and we're going to make the extra bits, right? So we know right now, you've seen that I can produce the fluoride stuff, or the fluorite stuff with the dissolution, chemical dissolution chamber. We're going to use the sulfuric acid, which we made. I'm going to hook this up and we will get our hydrofluoric acid. Then next time we will work on yellow cake uranium in the chemical oxidizer, and we'll get all that set up. Now, do I have yellow cake uranium? Yellow cake, I do. I have one piece. So yellow cake, how do we get that? And that is uranium in an enrichment chamber. And to get uranium, crusher, no. Where's the uranium? I'm pretty sure we've got uranium, right? Have we got uranium? I think I've been picking it up. Oh, we've got uranium. Oh, there we are. Raw uranium. Perfect. So, uranium is raw in its first iteration. So, let's click that, find out what we need to do with it. What we need to do with it. We need to cook the bugger up, don't we? So what do? We can smelt it into the uranium. Alright, so I'll hook that up, because raw uranium shouldn't be a problem. We can hook that up to some auto crafting, or we can just hook it up in general. How much? We've got 19,000 of those left. You know what? We can do without that for the moment. We'll put the uranium in there. We've got enough. I'm pretty sure we've got enough. Yeah, look, we've got 39,000, almost 40,000 copper ingots. We're never going to go through that. So we've got some uranium going. We've got that other bits and pieces. So once those cooking recipes have been done, we should then be able to go for the next part, combine those, get what we need. So what have we got? Isotopic, isotopic, there we are, that one. So nuclear waste or uranium hexafluoride. So we'll have our hydrofluoric acid, obviously with the fluoride or fluorite. That will then be one half of our chemical infuser, and then the other one will be uranium oxide, which, as we know, comes from yellow cake uranium, which comes from enrichment chamber. So I'll set up I'll get an enrichment chamber up and running, and we'll be able to fix all of that, and then we will literally get our recipe for our uranium hexafluoride, which will then go into the centrifuge, which then makes our fissile fuel. Then we're going to need a reactor. sodium, fissile fuel, reactor, superheated sodium, plus nuclear waste. This seems to be the better one, which is like soul essence and that blood, and yeah. It would be good going down that way, but we've got this. And you know what? We're going that way. We're going down this way. We'll get this, and then nuclear waste, and then obviously the nuclear waste will then go to plutonium, and we'll be on our way to all the other cool stuff that we need. Anyway, that is the end of the episode. I am not going to... Oh, in fact, actually, it's... You know what? No, that's the end of the episode, because I'm going to go and do the upgrades, and I'm going to do all those bits and pieces. I'm not going to drag it on any longer. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Sorry for the couple of days that we were not, or I was not about. It's just a lot of stuff going on at the moment, but I'm hoping to resume my schedule now. So, yes. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Syntosis. You've been awesome. Laters.